Bjorn had two choices. Choice one, keep telling the lie, maintain his reputation, stay respected, but live with burning pain every time someone asked about the scar, every feast, every gathering, every curious question. Physical torture, ongoing for as long as he held the lie. Choice two, tell the truth. Admit he was a coward. Admit he ran. Admit the scar came from his own clumsiness while fleeing. Lose his reputation. Probably lose his place in the clan. Maybe face exile. But the pain would stop. Pain or honor, those were the options. The scar had made sure of it. For 3 years, the lie had been easy, comfortable. I fought 3 men. This scar proves it. People respected him for it. Women looked at him differently. Other warriors nodded with understanding. The scar was proof, evidence, validation. But the scar wasn't cooperating anymore. It had started burning. Every time he told the story, every time he claimed bravery he didn't earn, the pain was immediate, sharp, undeniable. Medical? Maybe. Curse? Possibly. Conscience? Made physical? Certainly. Whatever the cause, the effect was clear. Lying hurt, literally. He tried variations, telling a less heroic version. Still burned. Saying, I don't remember the details. Still burned. Any version that wasn't the shameful truth triggered the pain. His body had become his judge. Now he sat at another feast, someone asking about the scar. Again, looking at him with admiration, wanting to hear the heroic tale. He could tell the lie, take the pain, preserve his honor, or tell the truth, end the pain, destroy his reputation. Pain or honor, physical suffering or social death. The scar waited, ready to burn, ready to punish, ready to force him to choose. Northern settlement, spring 915 AD. A prosperous clan, good farmland, strong warriors, respected leadership. Bjorn Kettleson was 30 years old. Not the best warrior, not the worst. Middle tier, competent in formation, reliable in battle, never heroic, never cowardly, until he was. 3 years ago, summer 912 AD, the clan had organized a raid, standard operation, coastal monastery, lightly defended, easy target, good plunder potential. Bjorn went. Why wouldn't he? He'd been on a dozen raids, knew the routine. Get in, take valuables, get out. Minimal fighting usually. Monks didn't resist much. But this one was different. They'd been expected, ambushed. The monastery had hired mercenaries, professional fighters, waiting. What should have been a quick raid became a desperate battle. The shield wall formed. Bjorn took his position, third row, safe spot, protected by men in front, supporting those ahead. Then the mercenaries hit hard, broke through the first line. Chaos, screaming, blood, men falling. Bjorn froze. Not noble hesitation, not tactical assessment, pure fear, paralyzing, overwhelming. The warrior to his left went down, gap in the formation. Bjorn was supposed to step forward, fill the space, hold the line. He ran, didn't think about it, didn't choose, just turned and ran, dropped his shield, kept his sword, ran into the woods behind the monastery, ran blind, terrified, branches hitting his face, thorns tearing his clothes, heart pounding, breath ragged, heard fighting behind him, distant, getting quieter as he went deeper into the forest. Ran until he couldn't run anymore, collapsed against a tree, gasping, shaking, sat there for hours, listening, waiting for pursuit that never came. Eventually silence, no more fighting sounds. Battle was over. He knew he should go back, check on his companions, help the wounded, face whatever consequences came from running. He couldn't move, still too afraid. As evening approached, he finally stood, started walking back, slow, reluctant. That's when he fell, tripped over a root, fell forward. His sword, still in his hand, caught on a branch, twisted, blade cut deep into his left arm, shoulder to elbow, long, deep, immediately bleeding heavily. He screamed, more from shock than pain. Grabbed his arm, blood pouring through his fingers. Panic, real danger now, bleeding to death alone in the forest, no one knowing where he was. He tore fabric from his shirt, wrapped the wound, crude bandage, barely slowing the bleeding, stumbled back toward the monastery, dizzy, weak, vision blurring, found the battlefield at dusk, bodies everywhere. His clan had won, barely, heavy casualties, survivors tending wounded, collecting dead. They saw him emerge from the woods, blood-soaked, barely standing. Bjorn, what happened? Got separated, fought through, cut badly. They didn't question. Battle was chaos. People got separated, came back hours later sometimes. His wound was obviously severe, real, dangerous. They treated him, stitched the wound. He nearly died from blood loss. Fever took him for 3 days, survived by luck and his clan's healer. When he recovered, people asked about the battle, how he got cut, what happened. He lied, said he'd held his position, fought well, got separated chasing enemies, took on 3, killed 2. Third one cut him before dying. Heroic story, better than truth. People People believed it. Why wouldn't they? The wound was proof. Severe injury meant serious fighting. The lie became his story, repeated at feasts, told to newcomers, part of his identity. And for 3 years, his body let him tell it. The burning started exactly 3 years after the battle, anniversary date. Bjorn was at a feast, celebrating successful harvest, drinking, talking. Someone new to the settlement asked about his scar, visible even through his shirt sleeve, too prominent to hide. How'd you get that impressive mark? Bjorn smiled, launched into his story. Same one he'd told dozens of times. Raid gone wrong, ambush. I held position, got separated, fought 3 mercenaries alone, killed 2. Third one, fire, sudden, intense, under his skin, along the scar line, like the cut was fresh, like the blade was slicing him again. He stopped mid-sentence, grabbed his arm, gasped. You all right? Yeah, yes, sorry. Old wound, sometimes acts up. Where was I? You were saying. He continued the story. The burning intensified, worse, making his eyes water, making it hard to focus. He rushed the ending, finished quickly. The moment he stopped talking, the pain faded, gone, like it had never happened. He sat there, confused, shaken. What was that? Stress? Muscle memory? Some delayed healing issue? He pushed it from his mind, kept drinking, tried to forget, but it happened again. 2 days later, different person asking, same lie starting, same burning, immediate, undeniable. He couldn't finish the story, made an excuse, walked away. The pain stopped when he stopped lying. Bjorn tested it, had to know, was it real, consistent, or random? Alone in his house, told the false story to himself, out loud, detailed. I fought 3 men, killed 2, got this scar from the 3rd. Burning, immediate, sharp, undeniable. Stopped talking, pain. Stopped, tried again, same result. Then tried something different, told the true story, the shameful one. I ran, panicked, cut myself falling, hid while others fought. No pain, nothing, just words, just truth. His scar was responding to lies, not to talking about the battle, not to discussing the wound, specifically to the false version. How? Why? He didn't know, didn't matter. The fact was undeniable. His body was punishing him for lying. He tried variations, over days, testing, told a partial truth. I got separated during battle, no mention of running, still burned. Told a vague version. It happened during a raid, don't remember details clearly, still burned. Told the lie, but in his mind, silently, not speaking, still burned. Any version that wasn't the complete, shameful truth triggered the pain. His scar had become a truth detector, embedded in his flesh, impossible to ignore. The problem wasn't just the pain, it was the questions. People asked about the scar constantly, new people especially. That's an impressive wound. How'd you get it? Simple question, expected answer. Warrior with obvious scar should have a story. Before, Bjorn told the lie easily. Now every telling brought agony. He tried avoiding the question. Old battle wound, rather not discuss it. People respected that, sometimes, but it made them curious. Why wouldn't he talk about it? What was he hiding? The silence created suspicion, where the lie had created respect. He tried changing his clothes, wearing long sleeves always, covering the scar completely. But it was summer, hot. Everyone wore short sleeves or went bare-chested. His insistence on covering up looked strange, weak, like he was ashamed, which he was, but he couldn't let them know why. The worst moments were feasts, public gatherings, where stories were expected, where warriors shared tales, where the scar drew attention. Someone would ask, always someone. Bjorn, tell us about that scar. That's a warrior's mark if I ever saw one. Everyone would look, expecting the story, the heroic tale they'd heard before or wanted to hear for the first time. He'd start, try to get through it. The burning would begin, intensify, make his voice shake, make him sweat. People noticed. You all right? Wound bothering you? Yes, still gives me trouble sometimes. More lies, more burning. He'd excuse himself, leave the feast early, go home, sit alone with his pain and his shame. 3 months after the burning started, Bjorn's reputation began to crack. People noticed he avoided talking about the scar, noticed he left gatherings when battle stories came up, noticed he seemed uncomfortable, nervous. Whispers started. Bjorn's acting strange, won't talk about his wound anymore. Why? Maybe it wasn't as heroic as he said. Maybe he's exaggerating or lying. The lie had protected him for 3 years. Now the inability to tell it was destroying him just as surely as the truth would have. He was trapped. Tell the lie, suffer physically. Tell the truth, suffer socially. Stay silent, suffer suspicion. No good options, only degrees of pain. The breaking point came 6 months after the burning started. A young warrior, eager, admiring, approached Bjorn during a training session. Bjorn, I've heard about your battle with 3 mercenaries, the one that gave you that scar. Would you teach me? Show me how you fought them? I want to be that that brave someday. The request was genuine, respectful. The young man looked at Bjorn with hero worship, wanted to learn from him, wanted to be like him. Bjorn felt sick. This young warrior was building his understanding of courage on a lie, was trying to emulate bravery that never happened, was looking up to a coward pretending to be a hero. I can't teach you that. Why not? Was it instinct? Something that can't be taught? No, I can't teach you because Bjorn stopped, started to tell the truth, started to say, because I didn't fight anyone, because I ran. The words stuck. Years of habit, years of protecting the lie, years of fear about consequences. He couldn't say it. I'm sorry, I just can't. The young warrior looked confused, disappointed, walked away thinking Bjorn was being modest or secretive. Bjorn stood there, hating himself, hating the lie, hating the scar, hating his cowardice, past and present. The physical pain from the scar was constant now, burning even when he wasn't talking, even when he was just thinking about the lie, even when he saw people look at the scar with respect he didn't deserve. His body was screaming at him, demanding truth, demanding integrity, demanding he face what he'd done. That night, Bjorn made a decision. He would tell the truth to everyone, publicly, at the next feast. Whatever consequences came. He couldn't live like this anymore, couldn't carry the lie, couldn't watch people admire courage he didn't have, couldn't teach young warriors based on false examples. The pain, physical and moral, was too much. He'd tell the truth, face exile if necessary, face shame certainly, but at least he'd be free of the lie. At least his body would stop burning. The feast was 3 days later, celebrating a successful trade mission. Good food, good ale, everyone in good spirits. Bjorn arrived late, nervous, sick to his stomach, kept almost leaving, kept forcing himself to stay. He waited, listening to conversations, stories, laughter, normal feast activities, then stood, called for attention. The hall quieted. People looked, curious. Bjorn rarely spoke at feasts anymore. This was unusual. I need to tell you something about my scar, about the battle 3 years ago, about the story I've been telling. Everyone listening now, intent, interested, some smiling, expecting a good tale. The famous scar story told dramatically. Bjorn took a breath, started speaking. The truth, finally. 3 years ago, during the monastery raid, I ran. I panicked when the fighting got bad, abandoned my position. I dropped my shield and ran into the woods. I hid for hours while you all fought, while men died, while the clan needed every fighter. Silence, shocked, no one moving, no one understanding yet. The scar didn't come from fighting 3 mercenaries. It came from me falling, tripping, cutting myself on my own sword while running away. I came back after the battle was over, lied about what happened, have been lying for 3 years. Complete silence now, stunned, disbelieving. I'm a coward. The scar is proof of cowardice, not bravery. Everything I've said about it was false. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for lying. Sorry for pretending to be something I'm not. Sorry for dishonoring you all with my lies. He stopped talking, waited. The scar, for the first time in 6 months, was quiet. No burning, no pain, just a scar, just a mark, just evidence of an old wound. The relief was overwhelming, physical, emotional, like a weight lifted, like chains broken. The hall stayed, silent, then erupted, shouting, anger, disbelief, some calling him a liar even now, some saying he must be joking, some demanding his exile. The clan leader, Jarl Erik, stood, raised his hand for silence. Bjorn Ketilsson, you admit to cowardice in battle, to abandoning your position, to 3 years of lies. Yes, why confess now? Why not continue the lie? Bjorn touched his scar. Because my body wouldn't let me, because the lie was killing me, because I couldn't live with it anymore. Erik studied him. Long silence. You showed cowardice 3 years ago, but you showed courage tonight. Telling this truth took more bravery than any battle. I'm still a coward. Perhaps, but an honest one now. That's worth something. Erik pronounced judgment. Bjorn Ketilsson, you will not be exiled, but you will not fight in the shield wall again, not in the front lines. You lost that right when you ran. You'll serve in other ways. Supply lines, logistics, support, useful work, honorable work, but not warrior work. Bjorn nodded, accepted. It was more than he'd expected, less than he'd feared. Some clan members accepted it, some didn't. Some never spoke to him again. Some respected his confession. The clan divided in their judgment, but Bjorn slept that night without pain, without burning, without lies. The scar was quiet, his body at peace, his conscience clear. He'd lost honor, lost respect, lost his place as a warrior, but he gained something more valuable: truth, integrity, the ability to live without his body screaming at him. The scar had forced his hand, had made lying physically unbearable, had pushed him to a choice he'd never have made on his own: pain or honor. He'd chosen pain. then realized that honesty hurt less than lies. Years later, Bjorn would train young warriors, not in combat, in ethics, in honesty, in facing shame rather than hiding it. "I ran once," he'd tell them, showing his scar. "This mark reminds me every day, not of bravery, of cowardice, of lies, of what happens when you pretend to be something you're not. Your body knows the truth, even when your mouth tells lies. Eventually you have to choose. Live with the lie and suffer, or tell the truth and be free. I chose freedom. It cost me everything, but it was worth it." The scar never burned again, never hurt, never punished. It had done its job, had forced truth, had made integrity the only path to peace. Some wounds heal, some wounds teach. Bjorn's scar did both, and he was grateful for it. Finally, after years of hating it, years of lying about it, years of pain because of it, the scar that told the truth, not in words, in pain, in punishment, in forcing him to choose between comfort and honesty. He'd made the right choice, eventually, painfully, but he'd made it, and that was enough.